Hello, this is LittleSatyr again. In my previous video I mentioned the bases very briefly, and I figured I should probably make a video and elaborate a little bit on what I mean with that. I said something along the lines of, which is why I don't mind people using bases, kind of, and I just kind of left it at that. So I don't entirely hate people who use bases, honestly. I feel like if you want to use a base, fine, go for it, use a base, whatever. But the people who follow me on DeviantArt know that I have a Sonic fan character group from way back in the day. And I say in the rules there that I don't want people to post pictures made with bases. So I feel like I'm kind of contradicting myself by saying oh yeah, use a base if you want to, but then I'm still no, I don't want people posting pictures used by bases or made with bases and stuff. The thing is, I have nothing really against the people who use bases. The people I have a problem with are about 98% of the people who make bases. Because I've noticed that there are very few bases who are actually made originally by the person who posted the base. When there's someone who's actually sketched everything out on their own and posted the base as it is. But the majority of them are actually traced from other people's artwork, and more often than not without the original artist's consent or even knowledge. So what happens when someone does a base like this, where they just find a picture they like, they trace it and they post it on DeviantArt, and what happens is that their art will be mass-produced one way or another without them agreeing to without them agreeing to it. Which will actually kind of slow down traffic to them, especially since the majority of the people who do these bases, they don't even link back to the original picture. And very often it's actually pictures from DeviantArt, not just random pictures they found on Google. No, they're taking other people's anime fan art or whatnot, and then they're just tracing them and posting them as a base. I've actually had someone recolor one of my pictures once and try to use it in a contest. Luckily, the person who held the contest was a very close friend of mine, so she was instantly like, hey, isn't this yours? So, yeah, and that sucked. Seriously, it sucks. I've had people post my pictures on other websites as well without linking back to me whatsoever, giving me any credit for it. So this does happen, and it actually really sucks. So yeah, if a person wants to use a base, I understand it does kind of slow down the rate you're learning. It really does. I have to admit though, I used to do a lot of recolors back in the day. I was one of those people who were actually wholeheartedly defending recolors as well. Was like, stop bashing people who make recolors. We're doing it just for fun. Are you aware how difficult it would be to sit and draw everything on your own? What if there's a pose you want to draw but you can't draw it? And then now I'm like, fuck off, just learn how to draw the pose. Don't recolor other people's shit, please. So back then, my opinion has changed so much. But I can't entirely hate people who use bases because I used to recolor. I only recolored people's fan art for a very short period of time though, before I realized that hey, someone actually drew these, I shouldn't be doing this. Then I just stuck to screenshots and whatnot, but now I don't even do that anymore. But I did for quite a long time. So I can't exactly yell at people for using bases that are intended for being edited and stuff. So I'm not blaming the person who uses the base. But I feel that you should actually slowly start to move away from them and draw your own stuff as well. Like I have a friend of mine, when she's bored, she will find like bases and stuff on DeviantArt and like edit them and like, yeah, these are my characters. So I don't see anything wrong with that. She's like, oh, I'm editing bases. And then I have this other friend, or acquaintance, more like it, I guess. I'm not entirely sure what I should call her. But she's the type of person who will edit the base and then doesn't credit and then gets angry when people tell her to credit. She's like, I didn't ask for your opinion. It's like, alright, you should still credit the person who made the base though. Which is also a thing that people who use bases are really bad at doing. If you're using a base, fine, but you need to credit the original artist. And if you think you're going to be getting more credit, like that people are going to think that your art is amazing if you don't credit, so people think that you drew it yourself. The thing is, it's painfully obvious when people use a base at times. Sometimes you can't even tell, but very often it's like, yeah, these, like the hair on the clothes are an entirely different style from the rest of the base. You either recolored this or you used the base that you haven't credited. So yeah, just give the base maker some credit, alright? Okay, good. Now another quick message for the people who actually do make these bases. Ask the artist if you can make a base out of their own work. Don't just like assume that they won't mind. Ask them, and if they say no, don't. And if you find a random picture at Google, like a random anime girl picture or whatever that you want to turn into a base, try to see if you can find the source first. And if you can't, yeah, probably don't do it. And if it is an anime screenshot or something, link back to the original screenshot. Don't just sit there and like, oh yeah, I traced this. Give credit to me though. No. If you want people to give you credit for using the base that you've traced to begin with, you didn't draw it, you just traced it, then you need to show some common decency and credit the person you traced from. Especially if it's someone else on DeviantArt who doesn't know that you've traced their art. If they gave you permission, yeah, cool. But you should still credit them. So yeah. And also, if you ask someone if you could make a base out of their work and they say no, don't get offended or act upset or do it anyway, because this person might not want their art to be mass produced in any way, shape or form. I wouldn't like people to turn my art into bases. I really would not. Because that's stuff I spent a lot of time on. And I don't want my art to be like mass produced or something. It's like that picture to be turned into 10 different other pictures. I don't really want that. So yeah, I'm not speaking for everyone. Some people might not mind, but always ask for permission. And if they don't respond, take that as a no and don't do it, alright? Right. So, I think that was all I had to say for this time. I really have to go to bed. So, I'll talk to you guys later. Goodbye.